Hello, welcome back to Tarot by Andy. Thank you for being here. This is my vibrational reading. Please do your own research for entertainment purposes and allegedly. Hello, you guys. Thank you for being here and thank you for subscribing. And those that are getting unsubscribed, I apologize. That is not under my control. So I first want to go on before I talk about what this is in front of me. Thank you for all the dress war votes. I decided with my daughter, her input, to go with the blush gown, the nude blush, pale pink. She does want that color. My son, for instance, is going to wear a pink tie. Her maid of honor is wearing a pink dress. A lot of other family members will be wearing blue because of the stained glass in the church is primarily blue. But I was given the option, and it was decided that the classic timeless look and simplicity of the blush is more classic. One said it was more sort of old Hollywood. It drapes my body better. I'm very petite, and I know I'll be toning up because I'll be hitting the gym, which I have not done in many years. So there's no risk of weight loss situation, but I do have to get it altered because I did get it at discount. It is a designer gown, and I noticed trying it on for my daughter that there were some little petals falling off it. I was like, whoa, okay, now I know why I got it discounted. So I will be going to a good seamstress. Some people mentioned, which was really kind, that it needed a belt, and I agreed. I was looking at going, something's missing here, so I have to get it shortened anyway. So I'll take that fabric from the bottom of the dress and have the seamstress make me something for the band at the waistline area. So, and I'll do probably a half up, half down, I don't know, with the hair. But anyways, I don't dress up very often, except when I go to weddings. I like to really go out of my way. But, anyways, it definitely has the mother of the bride vibe going on. And, I had to consider the venue where we're at. It's not an evening thing, where the blue one definitely looked better with my hair color and had more dramatic for like a hardcore evening reception, which is not going to go into the late evening. It's more of a going to probably end, like around, 6 or 7 p.m. So it's not like an evening affair. So it seemed more appropriate. So I thank you for the votes. I thank you for your confidence. I trust you guys. And I just thought, I was kind of like little scatterbrained about it. And it helps hearing what the public has to say, because it is photographs, and photographs are going to be forever. And so back to the timeless situation, the simplicity makes it a little more easy on the eyes. It's kind of those situations where you look back and you'll think, God, that was a little too much. Why did I do that? So we went with simplicity, but it's going to cost me more money to get this all altered and fixed and adjusted, but that's okay. It's a big day. So anyways, here we go. On the table. You're not going to like this at all, but I was doing this for a friend who asked me about Charles and his health, because she had strong feelings with her intuition that he wasn't doing so well, and they're pumping him full of steroids to get him to be able to function the way he is. And I agree. I've said this before, his reign's going to be incredibly short, and this is the 4 cards amplifying that situation. So I will flip it this way, and this is what I did just a second ago, and I decided, I'm going to leave it on the table, and I'm going to turn on my camera and just go with this for today. But I know people don't really like it, and usually I get criticized for it, and a lot of people get mad at me, but here it is. So the question was, how long does he have? Does he have much longer? And the answer is no, he doesn't. I have the death card here. The first 2 cards that I pulled, this was the center of the situation. The first 2 cards that I pulled was the very first card I pulled was the death card. I got the death card, okay? Subconsciously, I got this one. So this one came, this was at the bottom of the deck. These 2 were at the center of the deck, the center of the situation. So basically, they're lying for and calculated maneuvers for King Charles, the ruler. This is the ruler card, leadership ruler. Basically trying to keep and moving obstacles for him, keep him going, and the passion to succeed. But what we have it with is the Queen of Swords in reverse. That would be calculating and kind of lying about the situation, not being truthful, not telling the truth. So they're not telling the truth about him. This here, it's a position of war. It's a desire to call it quits. It's the crisis continuing, not liking it. It's the fear of letting go. And, he will not let go for right now. So there's this fear of death. There's this fear of letting go for death. but this is a position where you're not going to heal. In order for healing and transformation, it would be upright. I have it in reverse. So he's not going to heal. And it's karmic with the wheel. It's karmic. And basically it is just a finality card, because it is a finality card, because it is karma, and then the death in reverse. And there's going to get to be a point where he's going to want to call it quits to whatever they're forcing on him treatment-wise or ongoing treatment-wise. And they will continue to lie and continue to try to, I guess I shouldn't say lie, but cover up for him, and so that they can move obstacles for him. There's going to be a lot of crisis of trying to move obstacles to keep him looking like he's in a strong position. And that's going to be part of the problem. They're going to try to strategize, but, you know, people are going to figure out that they're lying about him because that sword's down. And that's going to create a conflict here with the death card in reverse. That's that war position. War of, well, what? So there's going to be these battles and arguments. People are going to pick up on it, just like this individual did, and say, wait a minute, I don't believe this. And so that's where the crisis is going to continue. He's going to continue to suffer, continue to have issues, and it is fully hardcore karmic. So he's going to keep trying to go and keep new opportunities going and keep ruling, trying to hope that it goes in his favor with that wheel going. But the crisis isn't going to stop. So he's going to continue to, he probably won't go into full remission is what I'm getting at. So the issue will continue to the point where, you know, it is coming to an end. It will come to an end. You know, he will not be able to embrace and keep going with constant changes. And, you know, the end is here with the death card, especially when it's in reverse, because you can't get out of the situation. You can't make way for the new. You can't get, you know, it's an overall no card. No, you're not going to keep going. No, you're not going to be able to move forward. No, you're not going to be able to remain your position of leadership. No, you cannot get away with lying. No, you cannot strategize for yourself in a good way. So that's what I got. So I want to keep going deeper into this. And I have here, eventually they will have to communicate the situation. And there is no way out of it. You have to accept it, because Three of Pentacles is acceptance. So then he's going to have to accept the teamwork makes the dream work with the Three of Pentacles. So he has to accept that the team will be working side by side with him. And we know that he has plenty of teamwork. He has William, he has Camilla, he has his sister, he has people backing him up. So it's going to be reliant on a team. It's going to be team leadership in essence, not solely him. And trying to enjoy life with the Four of Cups in reverse. And basically, he cannot be a perfectionist in the situation. Four of Cups upright has a desire to be a perfectionist, has a desire to be avoidant, emotionally cut off. So he cannot be emotionally cut off or rejecting of the teamwork. He has to accept it, because I have to enjoy life a little bit because I'm coming to the end here. And so I will accept this teamwork makes the dream work. Whatever I get, I will accept it. And yet we will have to fabricate and say some white lies about the situation. So yes, he will try to enjoy what he has left. He's not going to be rejecting or stonewalling or, you know, nobody's good enough. He's going to have to accept what he's given or offered in terms of quality professionalism, because the Three of Pentacles is highly qualified professionalism. Those are people who have all the technical knowledge, who can discuss plans with a priest as well, because Three of Pentacles has church windows. And so with those church windows, he will have to, he is basically going to plan his own funeral here. Because that is the church window card with the team, and putting those ideas to fruition and to gain the recognition of the life well lived and the parts and aspects of the enjoyment that he had, and putting him in that Four of Cups in reverse, where he wasn't someone who was high in NPD traits and, you know, not being attached to people. So highlighting the people he was closest to, and highlighting the people that he enjoyed his private part of his life with, in essence. And so that's kind of how that reads. And it would go far and wide. It's happening fast and aggressive with the Eight of Wands. It's happening quick. It's not happening slow. And then that would go to the social media. This will be, you know, he doesn't have long. He doesn't have what you guys think. And then the truth comes out with the High Priestess in reverse. So, you know, that is repressing the situation as long as possible. On social media and PR of the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is that PR machine. That is that communication, fast momentum of talking about the situation. So they're going to try to repress it as long as possible. But eventually the truth is going to probably leak out to the press. More than likely, it's looking like that. It's going to leak out, or people are going to start talking about it because they're not going to believe the situation in front of them. Their intuition, other people have intuition, can pick up on what they're seeing on camera. And there are people, you know, like my friend privately, that picked up on it and asked me. And I was already thinking that anyways, to be quite frank with you. And so here we have it, the truth coming out on the social media circuit. And then we have here, and having to be at peace in the situation, and the war in reverse, the conflict in reverse, not fighting over it. There is no drama. You cannot argue with death. You cannot fight it, you know, and not trying to sabotage yourself. There's no drama. There's no bitter mind, and just drop the grievance and give it up and silence the ego and just reconcile the situation within your mind and have some renewed interest with other people. Enjoy yourself. And there's no fights, no drama, keeping fights and drama away from him as much as possible. No fights, no drama allowed. That would be Camilla cutting all that out and saying, get the hell away from him. You're not doing that. And basically, this here is lying with the Justice in reverse, but yet still kind of lying and saying he's doing well when he's not. So they're going to cover it up about his health condition as long as possible. They're going to do it as long as they can until they no longer can, is what's happening here. And basically, they're not going to want to share their emotions in the situation with the Knight of Cups in reverse, because then he has to go full stop. And they don't want to do that. They want to keep him going as long as possible. So they're not going to share the emotions, and because it's really bad emotional news. And so they're going to hesitate on that emotional truth with the Knight of Cups in reverse, with the family, and with all resources, with the team. So some of the information will be kept back from the team. That is going to be his support measure and his help. So a lot of the team members are going to be left out of the cold because they're going to want to keep and retain them as much and as long as possible. Then I have here, and yeah, him falling off here with the King of Pentacles in reverse. So basically, he's going to have to serve himself. He won't be able to serve others. King of Pentacles in reverse is self-serving, not having the success and having some failure, and having to basically go into sort of stoic mode. And he's going to have a problem taking the advice from others. He's not going to really like it. Basically, it's not having him being in the leading position. He's not going to like that. And then we have here, and it is because a lot of people will be disinterested. He might get a little moody, temperamental, and he's going to lie about his condition to the people that love him. So he's going to hold back and not be honest with those closest. And there's going to be a lot of lying about his condition so that he can keep his job longer. And that's understandable. So it's just what a lot of people do. Gosh, I can say it about my own family, tends to do this. Some senior citizen members tend to hold back a lot of the truth because they don't want to be treated like a sick person, and they want to seem like they're in a position of strength here, and to keep their integrity and their strength, and keep their ego in check. So a lot of it's actually, it's not just a royal situation here. It's very common, I will say. A lot of family members do this, so it's pretty ordinary behavior. It's actually very, very ordinary behavior. So I'm not trying to diss the situation or criticize it. It actually is incredibly normalized behavior here. And so that will be pretty typical of what I've seen quite often. And then the people that love him will when they do find out, will be always emotionally available. He will always try to keep his emotional door open, and sharing, especially with the children in the family, the mothers in the family, the females in the family, the support, the hookups, the new relationships, whoever he comes across. He's going to try to have bliss in his life and birth love and keep, try to feel emotionally available completely. Overflowing emotions. So he's going to be very emotional with all the support and the peace that he has in his relationships. So the emotional door will still be available. It's just keeping up the facade, but things will be falling apart at work and at home with the Four of Wands in reverse. And basically it's built on quicksand. It's built on quicksand with the Four of Wands in reverse, and there's family divide. And trying to keep the door open through the family divide, that would be letting Harry probably talk to him and being emotionally available to Harry, but yet realizing the damage that Harry's done, that Harry is that fair weather friend. But yet it's his son, so I think he will still somewhat keep the door open, but he won't necessarily get full exposure, or he won't be able to work. That's the work in reverse, because Four of Wands is a work at home card, and it's in reverse. So he's not going to be putting in quite the work, nor will he be doing the parties and celebrations. It is also reunion in reverse. So no, he's not going to make time for Harry. There won't be any social events in reverse. So he's going to start, he will be missing some social events. He's going to probably be very careful about what social events he attends, work and play and reunions, all celebrations. So he's going to have to be very careful with himself. He's unhappy with it, with that Four of Wands in reverse. That's very unhappy. It's a sense of instability there. And that's not a good position. So yes, it's falling down, it's falling apart. And so that's how that reads. And then we have here pain and suffering, ongoing issue with Harry, the Hermit card. So, and Harry's going to constantly be a pain in his, a thorn in his side. And this just pains, triangulations, suffering, betrayal of Harry, and hoping that Harry learns and goes through the dark night of the soul and will hopefully gain some wisdom by the pain and suffering he caused, which helped lend to this illness. And Harry contributed because of the pain and suffering of his son. And glowing down wallflower of Meghan. And so hoping that Meghan goes down into the shadows and disappears, and she can rise up elsewhere because of the pain and suffering that she instilled on his son. And then the shame involved here. There's a lot of shame feelings with the decisions and keeping the door open, I think, because Harry's going to be that outcast loner child who's going to want to travel in and make plans, and he knows that his child is suffering from shame and exile, and that is your child in estrangement with that Five of Pentacles who's going to travel in. But he knows Harry's going to always be a source of emotional pain, triangulation, ongoing issues until he heals himself. Nobody can do it for him. He has to do it for himself. He will always be that child of estrangement who will travel in, and he will receive him only because he loves him, but I don't see much more past that. And then he is his problem child with the Page of Swords, the difficult conversations with the traitor child, with the Hermit in reverse. So this is how I see this happening. Yeah, traitor Harry will always be complicated and difficult. He knows he cannot change the situation with the Magician in reverse. He'll always try and use fraud and difficult issues, and he will always garner lawsuits against the crown, and he will always be that ongoing issue of manipulation and fraud, unable to fix the situation or manifest anything better for him. Once again, you cannot fix someone else. You can only fix yourself. You can only work on yourself. You can only work on your own reactions. You cannot change another person, in essence. And basically, he knows that it's going to be a charitable relationship, that Harry's going to need some help, that he's going to have to, it is transactional. He's going to have to, at some point in time, possibly even offer help to the traitor son, who cannot get his own life together, who will always be a problem. So he will offer help. And he knows that Harry's always up to dark plans. Dark plans, cannot heal himself, help himself, and that he's on a bad path. And so the dark plans is with that dark child, with that petulant, arrested development child who went down the wrong path. So I see him opening doors only as a father. I love you, but you're nothing but a problem. And you need to, I think he's going to play the love and logic role, where he throws a problem back on his lap and say, here's a little bit of help, but get yourself sorted out. No, you won't be a working royal. Nobody wants you here. You're the traitor, but here's a little bit of help for you. Please get yourself some help, because you're in constant pain yourself, Harry. You've done it to yourself. And that is definitely that parental energy on the table, definitely throwing it back on his lap and saying, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to fix that you haven't grown, that you went down this wrong path? We've given you lots of help. What are you doing with yourself? How are you finding accountability for yourself? And, well, and you've burdened yourself, you burden everyone else, and so far, as a result, we have blocked off our emotions from you. And if you want to debate about the pain and suffering and the burden that you've given everyone after we've helped you along, and you still keep going down the wrong path, this is why we don't want to see or hear what you're doing. We got our ears blocked, we've got our eyes blocked, and we've got our heart blocked. And we know that we have enough wisdom to know about you. With those crows there, we know what you're doing, even though we may not be paying attention to you, looking at you, talking to you, or feeling you. We know what you're up to. And we know what you're up to. And we know what you're sparking. So there you have that. So that's what I have for this. Please don't be mad at me. Please don't be mad at me. I can keep going down, but this is in a nutshell. Definitely going to do love and logic, and definitely going to force accountability, as it should be, but still willing to offer some minor financial help, if need be, for Harry, not for Meghan. Meghan's broke. She is completely broke. I believe it, because I've gotten it long enough. I don't even need to throw cards on that, because I've gotten that for a long time. That's why she's looking for investors, and she's failing at that. So Meghan's doing what's going to serve Meghan. Harry's going to do what's going to serve Harry. Charles is going to do what serves him in the time being, and try to stay above the water. Try to keep going while he's struggling and drowning in negative health effects, negative Harry and Meghan, and all the pressure on his shoulders, having to be the person he is and everything expected of him. But he's going to have to rely on the team, rely on their judgment, which he will do. But they will have to mask and cover up in the process. And like I said, just so reiterate this so I don't get attacked, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I feel that's probably what most leaders would do. That's what a lot of family members do. That's what a lot of private people do. So it's really no different than what a private citizen would do within their own family, to keep the respect going and to keep the trust. It's perfectly acceptable, and there's nothing super horrible about it. So he's just going to try to muster and march on as long as possible until it becomes so blatantly obvious that people are going to call him out left and right, and then that's when the honesty ball will drop, but not before. You know, as we know, they like to carry on and pretend like nothing's happening. And it is going to be no different with Charles. If they're doing it with the baby bump and the false pregnancies, you can bet all the money in your bank account that's exactly what's going to happen with Charles and his health condition. So anyways, there you have it. I hope you, well, I'm not going to say I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, like and subscribe. And thanks again, you guys, for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.